Welcome to a matchup between FC Cincinnati 2 and Chicago Fire 2 from Scudamore Field at NKU in Highland Heights, Kentucky, where Cincinnati sits 5-4-2 on the year. Chicago Fire, though, comes in right on the outside of playoff position, 8th in the East, just 2 points off the 7 spot. Every match from this point forward, huge for the Chicago Fire as we take a look at the standings. Crown Legacy still leads the way, but lost to Atlanta last night. The Revs picked up a big win, 5-4 against Orlando City in a matchup of playoff teams last night. And Columbus outlasted Huntsville in PKs, so a lot of good action right now between teams that are in the playoff mix. Both teams will be starting a different keeper than they did last time out. We'll get to the lineups in just a moment. The new keeper for Cincinnati is Evan Loro. He's on a first-team contract, but this is still his 8th appearance of the year. He's 4-3 right now. Kai Thomas is the captain in the back. There are a lot of guys that are first and second team tweeners that are in the lineup for Cincinnati tonight. Ordonez, the big name to know. Halsey's a first teamer. And now we look at Chicago with Mihalo Miskovic, Miha, between the sticks. Wyatt Ohmsberg is a first team player on the back end. Then a late lineup change. Billy Hensey steps in for Victor Becerra, who is the standout. 3 goals in limited action this year. We'll see if he comes in off the bench or not, but Becerra moves out of the starting lineup into the bench. Lamar Glasgow, big-time scorer on the front line as well. Cincinnati comes in 5-11-4 with 2 shootout wins. 21 points, 12th in the East. Scoreless in 3 straight games, however. Consecutive 1-0 losses to Huntsville and Crown, following a 2-0 loss to the New York Red Bulls. Before that, beat Miami 3-1. Second matchup between these two teams this year drew 0-0 on July 9th. Cincinnati won 4-3 in PKs. Quick pregame huddle from the Fire 2. Cincinnati happy to be at home tonight. 0-7-2 on the road, but 5-4-2 at home. And there's Captain Kai Thomas, number 40 in the blue, who led that huddle. And we're underway, an Eastern Conference battle between Cincinnati and Chicago from NKU in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Chicago 2 points off a playoff spot right now as we have an early foul. Kyle Armstrong is the referee tonight. I'm Eric Duick with you, MLS Next Pro action. Second year of the league. Monis couldn't track that one down. 20-year-old homegrown from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Brett Halsey, inactive last time out. He's been spending a lot of time with the first team. Possession stays Cincinnati. Philip Horton, 45 in the blue, draws his second start of the year tonight. Chicago in the white kits, Cincinnati in the blue. Cincinnati 5-4-2 on its home pitch this year, which accounts for all 5 of its wins. Taken away. Maury Glasgow, 55 in the white. It's bumped ahead. Castellano, long ball, knocked over. In on the action early. 22-year-old out of Virginia. Foster to throw in. He just turned 19 on Saturday. He's a first-team contract guy. Push from behind, no call. It's a very veteran lineup for Chicago tonight. A lot of early 20s. And then you've got the 27-year-old first-teamer Wyatt Ohmsberg. A lot of bodies flying and balls ricocheting early. And a free kick. Decent position for Cincy. Castellano on a quick restart. Throws it far side. And that slide kicked away. And the Captain Thomas plays it.
Not sure what happened there.
But inside-outside passing, but Castellano loses it. Cincinnati the aggressor early. 11 points off the playoffs, but 8 games to go. A lot of teams have 6 and 7 left, so perhaps Cincy can gain some ground tonight. Tyrone Marshall, the head man for Cincinnati. We have 2 second-year coaches tonight in the second year of this league. 25-year-old Serbian Miha, with his 9th start of the year. Glasgow on a long run, heads to himself. Couldn't get that under control. Some strong defense. Beautiful header to redirect that, but Aguido tight on the defensive side. Cut down on that angle. As the 27-year-old Loro eyes the pitch. Possession stays Cincinnati. Pinto on the restart. 18 games played for Pinto in the MLS, but a next pro appearance tonight as another goal kick coming up. Not a lot of rhythm or possession yet for either team. A lot of balls going out of bounds and such. Foster and Glasgow in a collision. Morrow's long ball sent back. A lot of back and forth early as far as possession changes for varying reasons. Chicago with its most sustained touch, but right back to Cincy. That pass intended for Castellano. A lot of headers back and forth. Apononu, from a Bowling Green player with a rifle of a kick to the far side. But a giveaway. Chicago still struggling to find sustained possession early. It's 7s across the board for the Fire. 7 wins, 7 losses, 7 draws. 2 shootout wins. Chicago just trying to find some rhythm right now as Justin Reynolds touches. But it's right back Cincinnati. Ordonez, 29 in the blue, is a big score as a foul's called. Ordonez, 7 goals in 8 games. Salim Adams lines it up. See if Cincinnati goes more for a scoring approach or a setup approach. Last time, similar position, just a short pass that didn't really amount to much. Castellano and Adams, the two right now lining up in the action. Castellano, 43 in the blue. Pinto, 26, off to the near side. Adams launches it in the middle, off a few bodies. Still loose, long shot blocked. And possession stays with Cincinnati. Kai Thomas, the captain. Strong box out, though, from Glasgow, and a foul committed. Almost 10 minutes in. Most sustained look, long pass, headed up. Still loose, knocked around and out. A lot of balls through the air thus far for Chicago. They're playing the airborne game. Billy Hensey, 47, the late addition to the starting lineup. And there's another look at the free kick from Cincinnati. Handball, so we'll have a penalty kick coming the way of Chicago. Another look at it while we were in replay. That's almost a punch of a handball. Perpa Charges in and gets it. Third goal of the year for Luca Perpa. 1-0 Chicago. Luca Perpa, the 25-year-old from Milwaukee. Another look at the handball. And that was strange. Usually your handballs are from players on the ground. Maybe unintentional of sorts or whatnot. It almost looked like that was a jump and punch at it. And then Luca Perpa, former 34th overall selection on the goal. Any penalty kick obviously is big in a sport like soccer, but particularly notable here with a Cincinnati team that has struggled to score 3 straight scoreless. A turnover here, though. Can't capitalize. And then consider the fact that the last time these teams met was 0-0. So Chicago also encouraged by the early goal. Luca Perpa's third of the year. He signed with Chicago from the USL Championship side Hartford Athletic. Good crowd on hand at NKU in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Justin Reynolds with space. Perpa. Held into the box. Touched around. Loro dives at it. Good play from the goalie to come out. And smart maneuver to exit the pitch there and force the throw in. Glasgow. Reynolds again, fancy. Glasgow broken up. Now Chicago finding some pressure early after Cincinnati was the aggressor. Centers it. Cincinnati counter opportunity, but right back to Holmesburg. Monis on a long run. Knocked around, right back to Cincy. Glasgow challenges it, a lot of contact. Cincinnati, trip and a foul called. That goes against Billy Hensey. This portion of the match is brought to you by Mercy Health, official healthcare provider of FC Cincinnati. Knocked out, and a throw-in for Cincy. Contact. Cincinnati, a minus 13 goal differential on the year, just 29 goals for. Second to last in the East. came out strong tonight, but it's been Chicago with the bulk of the possession since. Ordonez hasn't had any clean possession yet. He's the leading goal scorer, accounting for 7 of them. Guido blasts that for Halsey. Keeps it in play, now out, and that forces the throw. Good closing speed from Halsey. Halsey shields from the sun a bit. Guido bounces that along. Foster speeds in and out, but loses it. Glasgow from Guyana. Turnover. Now Halsey, the former 7th overall pick. Centered. Halsey, one-timer, too strong. Nice find, better opportunity. Into the box, but pushed back. Adams, long shot wide. Adams, a 20-year-old, his lone goal of the year, April 30th at New England. Tyrone Marshall loves his ability to shoot from distance, just not enough velocity on that, nor accuracy. Glasgow tracks the long pass. This is a very balanced Chicago team. Crossed, headed up, still loose. Tons of contact there, no penalty call. Possession stays Chicago. Castellano. Swivels. Too many defenders. Not enough ball movement. Orehel leaves for Reynolds. And a foul called. Take another look at that near penalty. Foster, big collision. Billy Hensey pleaded for the call. Instead, Sergio Orehel lines up for the free kick, along with Purpa. Purpa with the lone goal so far on the PK off the handball. Purpa hooks that, headed high. Stays in the final third. And a clear. Long bouncer, dangerous play. Mija lets it roll into the box. Big one-on-one scenario there, though. If that bounces Cincinnati's way, I think we've got a blood check here. That is the case. How do you get that paper so fast is my question. Someone ran that out to him. Another look at it. Elbow in the face. Looks like he actually already did have some kind of a wrap that he used to slow that down. See how quickly they can get Reynolds ready to go. Loro rolls it out. This portion of the match is brought to you by TQL, official logistics partner of FC Cincinnati. Cincinnati, pardon me, maintains. All the way back to the 27-year-old Loro. Former Michigan Wolverine. And Foster, pardon me, with the long header. Mija clears. Guido off the push. Glasgow disbelief. Chicago comes off a 2-1 victory against Atlanta a week ago. In that one, goals from Victor Becerra and Alex Modis. And the lone goal was actually an own goal, the lone goal allowed. Chicago possessed it just 41% of the time, but outshot Atlanta 17-10. And Atlanta picked up a big win last night in MLS Next Pro action, beating the first place Crown Legacy Club. Castellano gallops into open space. Horton jukes inside, top of the box, Arendt. And Chicago resets. Glasgow. Reynolds back in after the blood check. Nice tactic to let that roll through. Top of the box, shot, goal! Alex Modis, back-to-back games. Incredible strike from the 20-year-old. Cincinnati thought he was offsides, but a beautiful shot. Head coach Ludovic Taillandier, very complimentary of Monas this week. Says he's just got a massive game, and you saw that on display there. First team player, but mostly with the second team for games. Taillandier says they're working on his confidence in finishing, but not going to find much fault in that shot. So can Cincinnati find a way to score? Long ball, Ordonez challenges for Cincinnati. Reynolds. Push and a foul. Glasgow. Circles around. Foster on him. Surveys. Taillandier describes Chicago's approach as an attacking style of play. They want to win the ball fast, be aggressive in open space. Turnover here, but right back to Chicago. Attack to create chances and defend to create chances. Because what's interesting about Chicago is for a team that has won 7 matches, it is highly unusual that their leading scorer has just 5 goals on the year. A lot of the top teams right now have guys with at least 8 goals at this stage, but it's a really balanced Chicago attack. 10 players with multiple goals. Taillandier said he'd much rather, though, have the 10, 15-goal striker if he could. He said it's not as if that were by design. If there were to be that player, though, it would be a Victor Becerra, who's missed about half the season with injury and already has 3 goals. He thinks Becerra would be the good candidate to have something in that neighborhood of 8 to 10 goals. But the 23-year-old has missed about half the season with injury and was initially slated to start tonight, but then Billy Hensey, a last-minute change into the starting lineup. So we'll have to await word to find out if that was anything related to injury and warm-ups or what the case may be there. But Becerra is still listed as active and on the bench. Glasgow. Bumped along, but no call. Third of the way through. Ordonez. Kyle Armstrong says possession stays Cincinnati. Loro with the lefty boot. Cincinnati, some numbers here. Ordonez. Long ball, Castellano tracks down just off the end line. Played back. Castellano into the box, but headed out. Kai Thomas called for a handball. Just when Cincinnati had something going. The host Cincinnati 0-3-1 with one shootout win all time against Chicago. All time being the 2 years of MLS Next Pro. Opportunity, Castellano, long run, settles it, fakes inside, top of the box, shot scooped up. Pinto, the trail shot there. Miha, great position. And the Serbian foots it all the way to the other end. Papanonu, plenty of space, glides it along. Pinto, 26 in the blue on that last shot. Castellano takes a tough trip. We've got a card. Justin Reynolds tagged with the yellow. Castellano still down. The 19-year-old Venezuelan. Another look at that Pinto shot. The trail man coming in. Castellano. Nice creativity here, and then Pinto charges in from the top of the box. That's good offense right there. Castellano back on his feet. Brett Halsey lost it. Pass too strong for Glasgow. Glasgow played for Guyana in the Gold Cup this year and scored against Grenada in a first-round win. A native of Georgetown, Guyana. 4 goals on the year, 10 points. A whopping 45 shots for Omari Glasgow. This portion of the match is brought to you by First Financial Bank, official bank of FC Cincinnati. About 10 minutes to play first half. Castellano more involved these last few minutes. Isaiah Foster. Not a ton of contact there, so no call and a throw in. Kyle Armstrong had a good angle on it. There's Tyrone Marshall at the bottom of your screen. 300-plus MLS appearances in his career for 5 clubs. Centered into the box. Salim Adams, top shot. Did that touch a foot? No, it did not. It's a goal kick. Olmsberg in the way there. Adams just way errant. You almost had to think it hit the foot of Olmsberg just because of how wide the shot was, but correct call. Mija sends that 60 yards. Halsey, throw in. Mija, the 25-year-old from Serbia, didn't play the last couple of games, nor the first Cincinnati match, but he has been the keeper the bulk of the year. An impressive leg on the 25-year-old. Mihalo Miskovic, but he prefers to go by Mija. Free kick for Cincinnati. Halsey. A lot of defenders around the ball at every turn for Chicago. Glasgow. Give and go. Glasgow hurries for it. Apanonu. Little bump there, but no call. And a goal kick upcoming. Foster settles. Castellano. Cincinnati finding its form a little bit more. Delayed foul call. It's on Cincinnati. And Malik Pinto. So Pinto passes off. And it appeared that the defender cut in front of Pinto there, but I guess, and he got a yellow for it too. I guess they thought that he was a little reckless in his attack there. It's a tough call. Intercepted Reynolds. Glasgow back for Reynolds. Beautiful spin. Crosses, header wide. Billy Hensey not on point there, but beautiful footwork from Reynolds. Loro in good position as well. Around Monas, who scored the second goal. Cincinnati with it. Castellano, good stop and start. Leaves ahead for Pinto. Horton. Long shot blocked. And a yellow card behind the play on Salim Adams. Oh, no, pardon me. That's on Monas. Thought Armstrong had pointed to Adams. It was behind the play on Monas. Let's see what transpired. Oh, there you go. And good officiating by Kyle Armstrong to not slow down the advantage opportunity. That's good officiating there by Kyle Armstrong. Here's Salim Adams-Castellano. Ordonez on a long run, settles it. And the delayed offside call. You see Ordonez tried to slow up. Back for Mihai. Ordonez loses the header. Settled, Glasgow. Throw in for Cincinnati. The first teamer, Isaiah Foster. First team contract, but he's been an ex-pro guy all year. His 20th start. Castellano begging for it, 43 in the blue. And it heads the other way. Guido, and out. Into the box, Glasgow, and we have a foul behind the play. Purple went down. Tried to slow up. Purpo went over that extended leg. Purpa, long hook, right back to him. He speeds inside. Minute of stoppage time coming up. Into the box. Yeah! Good angle and a goal. Monis again. 3-0 Chicago. Ohmsberg just kind of nudged that along, and Loro came out for kind of a foot save. A little bit of a misplay. And Monis sneaks in another one. So the PK from Purpa, and then 2 goals from the left side for Monis. One of the long shot variety outside the box, and there, just a few yards off the doorstep. And halftime. Our score at the half, 3-0 Chicago. A few weeks ago in Salt Lake City, MLS Next Pro invited teams from leagues around the world to participate in the MLS Next Pro Invitational. Samara and Michelle recap the second year of this important event.
Greetings from the home of Real Monarchs in Salt Lake City, Utah. Tuesday night culminated the second ever MLS Next Pro Invitational. I'm Samara Perez, and Michelle and I are here to take you through the most impactful moments of the international competition.
In the home side's tournament opener, Real Monarchs took on Crystal Palace's U21 squad. Academy product and 16-year-old Owen Anderson scored the game winner to give Real Monarchs their first win of this year's tournament. It was also a pure example of the international experience young players receive by being given opportunities like the MLS Next Pro Invitational.
It means everything. It's definitely a dream come true, especially to score. It's definitely a great atmosphere to play into. So it's a great opportunity for especially kids like me who are younger and haven't gotten much time in the season. And it's a great opportunity for us to get time and show up in moments like that.
The experience was also something our league coaches considered beneficial in terms of strengthening their competitiveness, despite the friendly nature of the tournament. Whitecaps FC2 head coach Ricardo Clark touched on some of those benefits following their first appearance in the tournament.
This is a great opportunity to play an opponent, a European opponent, someone we're not used to seeing on a regular basis within the league, and that exposure is valuable in their development, right? So, yeah, we approached the game very seriously and very competitively, and I was proud of our group and how we showed that on the field. And again, it was a very good game to be part of for me and for the group.
Another highlight of the tournament, the world-class facilities of the Real Salt Lake organization that were used by both the domestic and European teams alike and were praised highly by all that were involved with the tournament. The state-of-the-art training grounds, the versatility, and the all-in-one development site was lauded by both the English Premier League and Bundesliga academy clubs.
But to come out and play on this great stadium, it's good for the players as well. You know, we like to expose the players to play, you know, under floodlights and you know, have an atmosphere. So it's been good. And yesterday we had the privilege to watch Hoffenheim play yesterday against Colorado. So yeah, the hospitality's been brilliant as well, and yeah, Salt Lake's looked after us well.
Yeah, you have to look around. I think it's very nice that we get the possibility to play in this stadium. We are used to play on grass fields in Germany, especially in Hoffenheim. We have many of grass fields because the weather is not so hot or not so cold, and so it's fantastic for us to play here, to play on this ground. Yeah, so everything is nice.
Now, seeing the facilities up close and personal, you see how it provides an immersive place for these guys to grow both as players and as people.
The experiences and even the challenges that the MLS Next Pro Invitational provided are also critical for players who aspire to reach the world stage in the future.
Obviously, there's lots of challenges: the heat, the time zone differences, the training times as well. We're having to train early because of the heat. So, and there's a lot of dead time. But this is all the things that if you're going to become a top-class player, that you're going to have to experience yourself for. If you want to go and play in World Cups for your countries, then these are all the challenges that teams can fail on unless you experience them.
With another successful MLS Next Pro Invitational in the books, we thank our esteemed European guests for bringing their talents here to the States, and to the Real Monarchs organization for being exceptional hosts. We hope you enjoyed our coverage from right here in Utah. On behalf of Michelle Montaigne, I'm Samara Perez. Thank you for tuning in to the 2023 MLS Next Pro Invitational.
And we began August with a bevy of important matches as the season's end starts to come into focus. Michelle and Samara put it in context with this week's edition of Matchday Rewind.
With MLS Next Pro's Matchday 20 spread out over a couple of days, we got a full weekend and more of soccer. Samara and I are here with the biggest moments from a very big match day.
Our first standouts hail from Colorado. Rapids 2 are back in the winning column following a massive 6-2 win over Whitecaps FC2. Attackers Darren Yappy and Remy Cabral each contributed with a brace. Just a week before, the league leaders suffered their largest margin loss of the season against SKC2. Despite that stumble, and thanks to their most recent win, Eric Boucher's squad remains atop the West with 48 points.
And topping a brace performance was Houston Dynamo 2's Papa Ndoye, who scored a hat trick for the second straight week. He becomes the first MLS Next Pro player to score back-to-back hat tricks in consecutive weeks in the Young League's regular season history. His 3 goals helped Dynamo Dos to a 3-1 win over July's Team of the Month, Sporting Kansas City 2. 6 goals spanning 2 weeks has throttled him into sole second place in the Golden Boot race with 11 so far on the season. And following his historic feat, there was one word he used to describe how he was feeling.
Right now, I'm buzzing. I'm feeling great. I'm super happy. I'm happy that the team is getting results right now, so that's all. I'm super happy.
Another thing that's buzzing right now is our Golden Boot standings. Following match day 20, we've got Nick Firmino and Jack Lynn tied at first with 12 tallies. And as Michelle mentioned, Papa Ndoye made a huge jump to second following back-to-back hat tricks. We also had a few guys reach double-digit territory, one of them being Ibrahim Kazul from Red Bulls 2.
And finally, now that we're in August, the playoff picture is beginning to take shape. Despite starting the season near the bottom of the table, Huntsville City FC is coming off their 3rd straight win and sits right above the playoff line in the Eastern Conference with 31 points on the season. Crown Legacy FC continues to lead the East with a dominant 47 points. Out West, Rapids 2 is in sole first with 48 total points. Austin FC 2 sits in second, while spots 5 through 9 in the West are only separated by 3 points. MNU FC 2 rounds out the teams in the West above the playoff line.
We've got double the fun this week with most teams playing double fixtures starting Wednesday. Michelle and I will see you back here with the most notable moments following all the action.
Nearly every MLS Next Pro side is playing a midweek and weekend contest to start August, so we had 9 big matches last night. Here's a sampling of how it went down. Maguire lifts it, top of the box, headed in! Goal! Cross for Miller, settles it, shot, goal! Leaves for Adebayo, Smith, all alone, blocked, still loose, Panayotou finishes. Escobar lifts it, top of the box, Boma touches it up, goal! Then Solis got a red card and left. And then in the second half, there's a goal for Orlando, down a man. Panayotou's made 10 MLS appearances this year with 2 starts. Scored in the first half, kicked up and in. Orlando suddenly back in this one.
And has put together some really good performances, including on the road. This is the group for Ibrahim Sakaiga. Drew got the chance to play with the first team in Leagues Cup play. As Sofo now blocks the clearance. Played back, and the shot blocked. Mosquera looking for the open goal. 23rd minute, first time strike for Shapiro Thompson. Directly off a TFC turnover. That's the difference right now. But an opportunity for TFC to tie it up. It's through Marcucci and in. Is brought down by the goal scorer Barrow. His cross played in on the far post. And what a goal! Clawing their way back in. They'd only had 2 shots on goal at that point throughout this game. And now they steal a victory on the road. TFC 2 making 3 wins out of their last 4.
Mateo Bunbury in the striker position. We'll have Marco Micheletto creating for him underneath. We feel that we can exploit them in behind up the flanks with the space they vacate. And these are the moments right now where they try to do just that. It's played ahead to C-Peach out of C-Peach! Micheletto wins it. On the turn, Bunbury goes down, feeds it through for Habroon. A brilliant play. It's always the interesting part of a shootout. You get into the kick takers who didn't want to be a part of the top 5. Knight looks like he maybe should have been in that top 5. Well taken. Has to score to keep it alive. Perry blasted over the bar. Columbus picks up the bonus point and wins this edition of Kicks from the Mark.
And to allow the back line to possess it and rather prevent them from breaking down or getting through the middle. Now here's the Earthquakes. Ball sent across the box and it's fired! Here comes a counterattack chance. Hidalgo slats it across the shot and it's in! Blancas now scoring the only goal for San Jose. And already has scored 1 from the spot. Can he do it twice? Blancas scores! It's a mental game of chess in terms of the keeper trying to guess which direction you're going to go, and the kicker trying to figure out which direction is going to throw the keeper off. Nyman over the net! It's a miss for Moses Nyman. Over the frame, just a little bit off in the technique on that shot. Fires that one straight over, and San Jose has won the extra point.
It was, in fact, a pretty chaotic evening on what is a very busy match day, and we look at those scores. Late night, we had Timbers 2. They're knocking on the doorstep of a playoff spot in the West now. Tacoma picked up a big victory. 10-9. That is a lot of PKs. And all these teams are coming up soon in action again, and now we take a look at the first half highlights from this one. Couple headers around there. And then this handball resulted in a PK that Purpa splashed. And then it was all about Alex Monis. Here's the first goal. Cincinnati wanted it an offside. No dice. Long shot and a goal for Monis. Cincinnati with perhaps its best look of the first half. Pinto comes in from behind, but Mija, good positioning, squared up on it. And Reynolds, gorgeous ball, but the header just off from Hensey. And then here was Monis, back to back for him. Interestingly, possession pretty even, and Cincinnati actually credited with more shots, but Chicago clearly the dominant team in the first half. So Chicago, 45 minutes from sitting in playoff position, just 2 points off the playoffs right now, and 45 minutes from a three-pointer. Isaiah Foster checks out for Cincinnati. Arun Conte comes in. Evan Loro hypes up the huddle. MLS Next Pro action, second year of the league. Columbus, the inaugural champion, and sits in third in the standings right now. New England Revolution surpassed them last night with a 5-4 victory against Orlando that you saw in your halftime highlights there. Second half underway at NKU in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Cincinnati 5-4-2 at home on the year, compared to 0-7-2 on the road, but a tough first half for the team in blue. Alex Monis, 2 goals. And there was a handball that resulted in the first goal from Perpa. There's Monis, 38 in the white. And here's Luca Perpa. Glasgow crosses. Knocked around, Halsey. Boxes out. And a throw. And Sergio Orejel is down behind the play. His teammates check on him. Another look at it. Tried to make a play from the ground, perhaps stepped on. High bouncer for Loro. Cincinnati scoreless in its last 3.5 games now. 3 straight scoreless losses. Before that, a 3-1 victory against Miami. Halsey plays it ahead, too strong for Ordonez. Mijas looking for his first clean sheet of the year. 62 in blue is Hunter Conte, who checked in at the half. Huge collision. Monis ought to run in the middle.
Come on, focus.
Halsey. And the Eastern Conference is tight. Not only is Chicago 2 points off the playoffs right now behind 7th place Huntsville, but just 3 points behind 6th place Philadelphia and 4 behind 5th place Orlando. Headed up and over the bar.
Here comes the yellow card.
And way behind the play, a yellow card issued to Joey Apanunu. He's a little bit stunned. And Orejel's down again. And he's coming out. Enrique Galina from Sao Paulo, Brazil, enters the game. Halsey pressures. And another whistle. This portion of the match is brought to you by Allegiant, the official airline of FC Cincinnati. Glasgow. Top of the box, right back to him, not on the same page. Bonus. Or rather, that's Ostrom, pardon me, on the cross, too far. Justin Reynolds in the box. Here's Monas, but a turnover. It's launched ahead, no offsides, but pushed back. And Glasgow keeps it along the touchline. And there's a foul. We've got another card coming in. This one's on London Aguido. A couple of yellows in the early minutes of the second half for Cincinnati. Brett Halsey, a former 7th overall pick. Nobody home. There's a Monas shirt in the crowd, perhaps a family member or just a strong supporter making the trip. Odds are it'd be a family member, but maybe Monas just has a big fan club. Monas out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. Chicago dominant tonight. Castellano. And a foul committed. Benonu. all the way back for the keeper, Loro. 27-year-old who played 3 seasons at Michigan. A long ball. Conte challenges it, but it's put out of play. And now the throw in. Ordonez and Conte back and forth. Near the box, Ordonez lost it away. Fights back for it. Loose ball. And another throw for Cincinnati. Cincinnati making a big push early in this second half. Now 3 games and 55 minutes without a goal. Last scored 4 games ago in stoppage time off the foot of Ordonez, who's 29 in the blue in the middle of your screen. Scoreless in 4 of the last 5, in fact. Cincinnati defeated Miami 3-1, and before that it was the 0-0 draw against tonight's opponent, Chicago. Cincinnati won that in PKs. Ben Stitz comes in. Brent Halsey departs. Halsey's played 33 minutes of MLS action over 3 games since June 21st, so with that increased first team action of late for Halsey, the former 7th overall pick of Real Salt Lake. Tonight, just a chance to get him some minutes, keep him fresh. He was not expected to play the full game. And he's replaced by a 2023 first round pick in Ben Stitz. Foul committed on Alan Rodriguez. And a yellow. I think Kyle Armstrong's just like, yep, yes you did. Yes you did. Let's see what it is that he did. Upended Malik Pinto. Castellano on the free, lifts it to the near post, too high. Aguido, the intended target. Offsides on Glasgow. Behind the play. Billy Hensey there, went into the back. Now it's the aspiring doctor, Joey Apanono. 3 in the blue. Apanono played for Bowling Green for a few years. First team academic All-American. Here he is again, but touches back to Castellano. Cincinnati selected Apanono 22nd overall this season. Conte on a long run with Glasgow, mano a mano. And the foul called on Conte. Conte played 14 minutes last game. That was his first appearance in a month. And he'll play the whole second half tonight, you'd imagine. Missiles that near the final third, headed up. Stitz settles it. Into the box, Ordonez. Maneuvers, middle. Back for Pinto, shot blocked away. Now Castellanos' shot deflected out. Best sustained possession though for Cincinnati. Here's Ordonez, he's dangerous. And the trail man, Pinto, another long shot. That one a much cleaner one. But Mija up for the challenge with the long dives in both directions. Trying to earn that clean sheet. Now Justin Reynolds down. He had a blood issue earlier. This one's to the leg. Reynolds will need to get checked out for 3 minutes. Unless they deem it related to the blood, but his nose is already plugged up and it looks like he's limping, so. Definitely favoring his right leg. So Chicago counters with a sub, so does not have to submit to the 3-minute off-field treatment rule in that case. Misael Rodriguez checks in. Never mind, 1 second. Top of the box, loose. Castellano. Loro tests that leg once again.
There you go.
Some space for Cincinnati. Stitz, 31st overall pick to DC United. Didn't make the cut. Kai Thomas with a good breakup, but out of play. So Monas checked out after his 2 goals. Reynolds out. Romain Blake and Misael Rodriguez are the new faces for Chicago. Stitz slips. Woo. Ball knocked around. Cincy playing hard. And the foul committed. Misael Rodriguez displays some good sportsmanship. And another sub. Tamarez in, Pinto out. Lucas Tamarez. But Malik Pinto comes in for some run. Pinto turned 21 yesterday. Not looking like much of a celebration tonight, though, with the 3-0 deficit. But 18 games played for Pinto with the first team this year, so tonight just a way to get him some run and keep him fresh. And now Tamarez comes in after he signed a week ago. Already his second appearance. Kai Thomas. Touched around. Castellano. The Venezuelan fancy with it. Apanonu. Tamarez is 52 in the blue. With it here. Thomas can't maintain, but the defender falls. Now Apanonu in on the attack. Tamarez. Lot of space. Tamarez maneuvers inside, top of the box. Stitz comes to help, but a turnover. Conte wins it back. Tamarez was with TSG Hoffenheim's youth system the last 6 seasons. Turnover and a man down for Chicago. All the way ahead, Rodriguez with an empty goal, launches it high. A lot of chaos behind the play there as well. Misael, nice one touch. Then Apanonu, nice job to stand in goal.
Switch!
Salim Adams sent that into orbit. Strong header from Kai Thomas. See if Cincinnati can do anything just to find the score sheet right now. In danger of being scoreless in 4 straight and 5 of the last 6. Into the box, deflected around. Thomas keeps it with Cincinnati. Quick restart. Ordonez. Top of the box, a little bit of space, but back out for Alan Rodriguez. Cross pitch. Trails shot just wide off the foot of Galena, who subbed in. Good positioning from Loro. And we've got somebody else down. Alan Rodriguez from Elkhart, Indiana, down behind the play. He appears to be cramping. And this portion of the match is brought to you by Cintas, an official partner of FC Cincinnati. So Chicago about to jump into the playoff mix. 2 points off 7th place Huntsville right now. They'll surpass Huntsville with tonight's victory. Huntsville lost to Columbus last night in PKs. We've got more subs coming in. Lamont Rochester comes in. Alan Rodriguez leaving with that injury. Andres Euland coming in as well. Wyatt Holmesburg gets a seat after he stays fresh for first team duties. A lot of confusion right now on the pitch.
Also for Chicago Fire FC2. And the pitch number 64, Andreas Euland. Leaving the pitch, number 16, Wyatt Holmesburg.
Kai Thomas. Glasgow with some inside-outside. Conte strips it. Back to that scheduling, though, or standings, rather. Chicago's also just 3 points behind 6th place Philadelphia. So Chicago really has a chance to move up. And Chicago, with a win tonight, will move to just 1 point behind 5th place Orlando.
Oh, come on.
We welcome you back to NKU in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Just some more subs coming on, it looks like, and a corner kick upcoming. He didn't miss any goals. Knocked around there, and possession stays. Long cross headed away. In possession still with Chicago. And the corner. Busy week around the league. New England defeated Orlando 5-4 last night. Toronto over the Red Bulls 2-1. Huntsville and Columbus drew 1-1, but Columbus won 5-4 in PKs. That's relevant from the Huntsville 1-point perspective in that one, because now it means Chicago just 2 points behind the playoffs and about to enter the playoffs with that. Atlanta upset first place Crown 3-1 last night. The Dynamo upset the first place Rapids 3-1. Minnesota outlasted LAFC 1-0. Real Monarchs and the Earthquakes tied 1-1 with San Jose winning 10-9 in PKs. Goal kick upcoming. Tacoma 3-1 over Sporting KC last night, and the Timbers beat the Galaxy 6-1. In addition to our match right now, NYCFC up 2-0 on Inter Miami.
So I'm thinking because there's been a couple rain games down here, that this equipment's gotten wet. Same with the camera. I mean, you saw that it's been racking its focus up by itself, so. Okay.
Foul committed and a yellow card to boot. Now, the only thing is that call on Galena. In regard to the referencing of Chicago moving into the playoff mix, it will be after tonight with one more game played than Huntsville and Philadelphia. So, even though Chicago will, barring a historic comeback here, eclipse Huntsville and move into the 7th spot, it will be with one more game played. Then you look at 5th place Orlando. They have played 22 games, so this Chicago win will pull them 1 point behind Orlando with the same number of games played. So right now you're really looking at a jam-packed 5 through 8 between Orlando, Philadelphia, Huntsville, and Chicago. There's a little bit of separation before you get to the 4th place Red Bulls with 38 points. Matt Schenfeld, the academy player. 73 in blue, a 17-year-old defender. With his first appearance since July 22nd against the Red Bulls. Tyrone Marshall says Schenfeld has big upside. They've just got to build the pace and the mental side. Rodriguez, top of the box shot blocked. Glasgow curls it, headed up and in. Goal, Chicago, Rodriguez. Misael with his 2nd of the year. The homegrown makes it 4-0 Chicago. Glasgow with a gorgeous ball. Ludo actually coached Misael Rodriguez at Academy for the 21 U19 title. Rodriguez scored in the final of that game, so him and Coach Ludovic Tayandier go a little bit back. So Schenfeld's an Academy guy also. Congratulations to the Marshall family as Tyrone's son Morgan, who's been a longtime Academy player and starred for this Cincinnati team much of the season, just enrolled at Penn State for his freshman season. So Cincinnati's lost a few guys to the collegiate game. But Marshall was a regular starter. Castellano crosses. And Cincinnati, just at this point, you're not going to win, but you'd love to see a goal if you're Cincinnati. Avoid 4 straight scoreless. This portion of the match brought to you by CTI Clinical Trial and Consulting, an official partner of FC Cincinnati. Chicago's been really high in expected goals the last couple months. And Ludo was saying just have to convert and finish chances, so they'll be ecstatic with this performance. Misael Rodriguez on another long run, loses it away. Castellano, a hard fall, no foul call. Now it comes. Castellano signed in January, previously with the Red Bulls in the USL Championship. Now the Red Bulls are, of course, part of MLS Next Pro as well. Schenfeld draws the foul from Rochester. So Chicago returns home next on Sunday. The Fire welcomes Inter Miami. Inter Miami firmly in the basement in the Eastern Conference standing, so that's another really good opportunity for Chicago to pick up some more points. So Chicago right now has a solid chance to earn 6 points this week. That's been the message from Coach Ludo, just let's have ourselves in the playoffs at the end of the week. Chicago arrived by bus early evening yesterday, so they'll head back tonight. Get in the early hours of the morning. Ostrom, the leading goal scorer, charges in. Centers knocked out. Ostrom again. Schenfeld defends. The two fall. Ostrom, centers, goal! Billy Hensey on the board. Probably the most casual goal celebration you could imagine. I think they're looking at looking at Sunday now. But Ostrom, as he and Schenfeld fall, Ostrom to his feet, and then he just shoots it off of the back foot. Billy Hensey. Stoppage time coming up. Long ball for Ben Stitz. The UPenn product. Ordonez. Long shot blocked. Stitz slides it over. Ordonez. And it looks like a clean sheet coming up for Mija. Mija struggled with a knee injury last year, but he has an academy background. Ludo says he's got great feet, long and accurate passes, and we've seen that from the start. He hits some bombs. A lot of guys kind of just walking around at this point. Benonu's still playing though. Foul committed. Kyle Armstrong still reffing. Next Pro has this cool feature where they'll adjust the standings on live scores. So Chicago right now positioned into the playoffs in the 7th spot with 33 points, but again, one more game played than the two teams around them in the standings. Castellano. Top of the box shot. Knocked around. If you're Chicago's defenders, you want to try to keep that clean sheet right now. And a penalty kick. That's the danger. You know you've got the game won, but a lot of guys just started walking around. Mija wants that clean sheet. Now he's got to stop a PK. Ordonez, 7 goals on the year, 8 first-team appearances. Got 3 2-goal games this year, and he's about to have a gorgeous chance to snap what would otherwise be a 4-game scoreless streak. Ordonez stutters, shoots, and gets it. Clean sheet, no more. Cincy on the board for the first time in 4 games. And I am no believer in the announcer's jinx, but that is now 2 games in less than 24 hours where the keeper has been within minutes of a first clean sheet of the year, and it went to waste. Last night we had Portland and the Galaxy. Portland led 6-0. The Galaxy punched in a meaningless goal in the final minutes. And now tonight, Cincinnati punches in a meaningless goal in the final minutes. And in both cases, it involved keepers who have played more than any other keeper on their teams this season, and they are still without a clean sheet. That's it. Chicago 5-1 into a playoff spot for the time being. Chicago thumps Cincinnati 5-1. Tonight's man of the match is Alex Modis, 2 goals. This one made it 2-0 from long distance. Then he followed that up with one much closer to the goalie box. Here off the pass from Holmesburg. Slips it past the keeper, Luro. Alex Modis is tonight's man of the match from Cincinnati, brought to you by Adidas. Alex Modis, man of the match, presented by Adidas. 5-1 Chicago for our entire MLS Next Pro broadcast crew. I'm Eric Duick. 5-1 Chicago. Don't forget, MLS Next Pro all season long at MLS Season Pass on Apple TV and MLSNextPro.com. Keep it tuned in to a busy week of Next Pro action. Good night from Cincinnati.
This copyrighted broadcast of MLS Next Pro may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcasted without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.